he's sleeping. Yeah, it's kind of a long week. You know how it is. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Hey, it's time to wake up. Yeah, we got to start the show. Yeah. What? We did. We had a lot of fun, didn't we? Yeah, we sure did. We sure did. Got to meet lots of cool people. Yeah, we sure did. And some great music, huh? Yeah, sure was. Sure was great. But we got to start the show. We're going to talk all about it, okay? Okay. So you go do that. And don't forget, got to start packing. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna tell them all about it. Don't worry. It's okay. Yeah, okay. All right. You go on and pack. You go on and pack. Okay. And we'll get the show started. Okay. He's easily excited, isn't he? Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Welcome once again to your weekly dose of GainerWorld Live, the 1 hour slop session where we just get together, let our hair loose, maybe sing a couple of songs, talk about all kinds of nifty stuff, and all kinds of stuff like that there. In case you haven't figured it out, my name is Tim Gainer. You are who you are, and if you are who you say you are, prove it. Get on into the chat room because lots and lots and lots of people are already there. Little Sister Judy is there so far, representing the CO. Got it right this time. Oh, yeah. Also, Elizabeth Jack is there. Thank you very much. Megan Paulette is there. Marcelo Obregon is there. We're going to be talking with them live on air in just a little bit. Don't you guys go no place. Elizabeth Jack is there. Hey, Liz, always good to talk to you. And somebody who I also need to give props to, of course, who is simulcasting a little swarry tonight. And that is, of course, our pal DJ Zath at the often imitated, never duplicated Warp Radio Network, warp-radio.com. So anyway, old Timmy looks different somehow. Yeah, you know what I look like right now? I look haggard. It's been a long week, dude. I don't mind telling you. It's allergies. It's allergies. It's not the coronas. This has been, without question, possibly the longest, as far as long as weeks go, this week took about 4 months to complete. But with all good reason. All good reason. And we're going to talk about this tonight. I may not get to any music tonight. Okay, regular viewers, I'm letting you know right now what's up. It's very possible I may not get to any music. But, you know... I didn't hear you cough the entire night on Wednesday. Maybe you should come back. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, can I just say, I need to give bunches of shout-outs to bunches of people. Because if you're a regular viewer, you know what went on last Wednesday night. Wednesday was the Hugs Live Drive on WRGG Radio in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. And it was the most astounding thing that I have possibly ever witnessed. I have been involved in radio either directly or indirectly for pretty much all of my life. And what happened in the space of 8 hours in a little low-powered FM station in southern Pennsylvania was nothing short of astounding. Nothing short of astounding. Now, there's tons of pictures. Let me just say at the outset, there are tons of pictures right off. And I want to thank Megan Paulette for what we're about to show you. These are only just not even a handful, not even a fingertip of the pictures that went on Wednesday night. But to just kind of give you a taste of what it was about, I just want you to look at some of these for a minute. Just the amazing players that were involved in this and the wealth of talent that was involved. Present company accepted, and I mean me, of course. But it was an unbelievable night. But as you sense here, what you also got was an amazing sense of family. It was, without question, I mean, at the risk of sounding like an old hippie, this was a communal situation. This was a communal situation, and it was just astounding, absolutely astounding. And there are so many people that need to be thanked. Right off the top, and everybody that was involved is saying it in the chat room right now. Cyrus, if you're watching the show, dude, call me. Because you deserve all the props that you could possibly get by putting on this show. This show was heard in 27 countries. And it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So thank you to Cyrus. Thank you to Jeff Trish. Thank you to everybody who came in. Thank you to DJ Zath and the Warp Radio Network, who did yeoman's work on putting this out on a worldwide scale with his network, of which we're also being simulcast tonight. As I said, Marcelo Obregon, Megan Paulette, they're waiting in the wings right now. The phone lines are open, as you can see. We're going to be chatting a little bit with them. But, yeah, it is insane what happened. Mind you, none of us. It's very hard to put into words. I've been thinking about this all day. How am I going to fill 15 minutes, let alone an hour, with talking about what happened with this show, what happened with this radio show? I have it on good authority that the show was in fact recorded. So that'll give you an idea. But the point that I want to make is that many of these people, if not all these people, I mean, we've all talked amongst ourselves, be it through social media, telephone, whatever, but we never really got together face to face. The Wasp Radio Network. So I know, dude, and I'm so sorry. I really am. But you have to. Zath is pointing out the fact that every time that Cyrus mentioned the Warp Radio Network, it turned out to be the Wasp Radio Network. All right, so he's off by a consonant. Okay, I mean, how bad can it be? And we kept repeating it. We kept correcting him as the night went on. But when you don't have when you haven't slept in 2 and 3 days, yeah, that's going to happen. Okay, so we got as close as we could. But to get back to my original point, many of us had never met each other before. It was the first time that the first person that I met, I mean, obviously other than Cyrus, who I met at the hotel when I got there. And the first person I met after that was Marcelo Obregon. And we talked on the phone a couple of times. I mean, it was nothing really big or extravagant. But when he got into the car, the three of us are talking Cyrus and I went and picked him up at the airport. And we're talking like we're old friends, like we haven't, like we had seen each other 15 minutes previous. And that's how it was as the days went on. Meeting the staff at the station, talking to them like old friends. Running into, all the people that you just saw in that photo montage. Megan, we've always talked to each other. She's been a fan of this show, and I appreciate it. And I'm a huge fan of her music. I'm not going to lie. And she says she's a fan of mine, but then again, there's no accounting for taste. But anyway, I'm kidding. But be that as it is, I mean, I saw her in the hallway of the station. She walked in, and she's like, "Hey, Tim. Hey, girl. Like we're old friends." That's the way the entire thing has been. And as a matter of fact, as we speak right now, ladies and gentlemen, can I just go down on record as saying I am blessed to be talking to the queen of hugs herself, ladies and gentlemen, Megan Paulette. Hey, girl. Hi.
I just gotta say, I am most definitely a fan of yours, Mr. Gainer, sir.
God love you. God love you. You lie so well. I'm so proud of you. I apparently have taught you well. Hey, did we had us a time? Did we not?
Oh, that's an understatement, Tim. An understatement.
Kind of walk me through, because you and I mean, we talked a little bit, but I was busy running around like a chicken with my head cut off between two studios. But you got to talk to everybody. I heard that there was a sing-along in the back room. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I gotta say, like, props to you and Marcelo for just, you and Marcelo and Cyrus just ran the entire thing all night long, like a well-oiled machine. You guys.
Oh, Johnny, you're backing the wrong horse.
No, I'm serious. You guys really helped things to run as smooth as they could have, and the three of you put together just really helped to make this thing what it was. So I just have to start by saying thank you, because I know that you are like thanking everybody else, but you were a big part of this too, and I just want you to know how much we appreciate you as well.
Well, coming from you, hon, that's a lot. That's a huge compliment, and I appreciate it completely. But
speaking the truth.
Well, I appreciate that. But the fact that bringing people in now, Greencastle in Pittsburgh, that's what, about 3-4 hour drive. Am I right?
Yeah, it's about 3 hours without traffic. Without traffic,
as the crow flies. Yeah. So, but I mean, in terms of, hey, listen, I got this gig, I got this thing. For you to drive 3 hours is crazy. But and there's people coming in from all over the state, all over the country. It was an amazing situation. Give me the feel about what you saw, because like I said, I was running back and forth, setting things up between studios. You got a chance to kind of feel things out, and you were part of the sing along. Come on, admit it.
Yeah. Well, there was a sing along in the back room that was led by Mr. James Morley himself, who is playing another gig tonight that Dan and I were planning to go to, but we couldn't make it up there. So I don't know if he's listening from where he's at, but I know that he had a place to play tonight, which nothing like what we experienced on Wednesday, though. I mean, I have been very fortunate in the short span of my career to have played in a lot of different places, a lot of different venues, but I have never been in a place where I've been joined by such a diverse group of musicians. I mean, we had people from like all over the country come in for this event, like you said, and a lot of people like I've been listening to on the radio since March, April, May, and finally getting to put names to faces. I mean, it felt like I'd known all of you guys my whole life. Like, I feel like I'm closer with so many of you than I am with people that I've known for 10 or 12 years.
Matt will really appreciate hearing you say that, by the way.
Oh, well, it's the truth. I mean, it's like Cyrus said so beautifully on Facebook, we're like this big family, and it felt like a big family reunion. Like you had the drunk uncle singing in the back, and you had karaoke going on up front. It was just, everyone was just having a great time, and we were all there to just make music and to just have a good time. And it was one of the most incredible things that I've ever experienced, and I'm just really lucky that I got to be a part of it.
You have no idea how close you were with the drunk uncle thing. I don't know if you heard about the story, what happened with Yigga Digga back at the hotel. But
I didn't. I heard bits and pieces, but I think that I can put the pieces together and make a puzzle.
Yeah, I'll just put it to you like this. I love you, man. And we'll just go from there. What happens in Chambersburg stays in Chambersburg, but that's all I'm going to divulge for the moment.
It's the Las Vegas of the East Coast now.
Yes, it is. It is the beaming, unsigned music mecca of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed.
And hey, to the folks at the Baymont Hotel and Suites out there, thank you, Beth and crew. Thank you so much as well.
Yes, absolutely. You guys were phenomenal. Beth, thank you for the bottom of my heart. You just made everything so wonderful. Our stay was terrific.
Oh, she has to be one of the most tolerant people I know. She's got my vote for Hero of the Year right now.
Oh, I know, and she stayed there. She stayed.
Yes,
in that
that's the
craziness
thing.
Like she was back there with us, and she stayed, and I just, oh, God love her.
You know, it was the funny part because at one point, at the front desk, we were checking out to go to the station one day, and she's like, "Well, you guys are coming back, right?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but it's going to be late." "Oh, well, I'm going to be staying here. I'm going to be in room such and such, and I'll be here till 3 a.m. And I'm like, "Beth, you do realize you're talking about hanging with a bunch of musicians, right?" And she just kind of looked at me. "Oh, yeah, I may party with you." "Beth, you do realize you're going to party with a bunch of musicians, right?"
I don't think you realize what you're getting yourself into.
Well, that was quickly followed with a chorus of, "And you know what they say about musicians." And that's when the face paled. That's when the face paled. She just kind of went, well, if you need me, I'll be over here. So, but it was a great time, and I'm glad I finally got to put a face with the name. Talk to me about now, and like I said, I said during the live drive, okay, and it's common knowledge by now. You are engaged, and I got to meet your fiance Matt. Okay, what was his? Well, I'm interested to know what his reaction to this was, because when you're an outsider, and when I mean outside, it's like not being in the business. But and he's kind of looking around, and he was kind of fanboying from what I saw.
He was, yeah. So I was really excited whenever Dan said that he was going to come down or come up, I guess, from where he was, because he's from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
He actually took Thursday off because he was like, "I'm going to take the day off so that I can stay out late on Wednesday night and really get the full experience." And I've been talking to him about Hugs, about WRGG, like talking his ear off about it since March. And he's friends with Cyrus on Facebook, and he's like, "I know that I'm friends with him, but who the heck is this guy?" And he gets there, and he was really and one of the things that he told me was that it was really awesome to see so many different groups of people, different styles of music in one place. And he said that it was like being at a really big concert in a really intimate setting where you just had all these different genres of bands and musicians just playing music for hours and hours and hours. And he finally, I think, being there, understood what I've been trying to explain to him what this was for the past 8 months or so. And it really isn't something that you can truly, I feel you can't truly understand it or grasp it until you're actually there and
until you experience it. Yeah. And there's a lot of people I know, and many people that are even in the chat room right now, that they're like really closely involved, like with the following of it and listening to it. But I got to agree with you. It's kind of like being in Pink Floyd. Unless you're in the band, you really can't explain to people what the experience is like. But you can get real close. You can get real close.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yes, it was a beautiful experience. I'm so glad I finally got to meet you. I'm so glad I
got to meet you too. Yeah, I've been watching you on YouTube, and
Well, see, there's your first mistake right there.
But
there's your first.
No.
I kept telling you I have a face made for radio, but you didn't want to listen. You just had to find out for yourself. But
no, it was a pleasure.
It was a lot of fun. Your set was killer, by the way.
Thank you so much.
And if any, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I loved being able to come and sing along with all of the music that you played.
Oh.
Listening to it on the radio for the past couple months, and I get there and you're playing these songs, and I'm like, oh, I know this song. I can sing along with these songs because I've been listening to them, and it's it was just so exciting to be there and to hear you doing it live and to be able to just jam along,
We need to talk about the ending of the show too, which I don't think too many people have touched on.
Transcendent.
Oh my God! So at the end of the show, we decided, instead of this big thing, that we were going to have Jeff Trish, who's the co-host of the show, do a song that he released, and it was a big hit on the charts, on the Hugs charts, by the way. 3 Tires and a Spare, which is a terrific song. The lyrics are just riveting, and it was I remember it was you, me, Heine Bach was in there, the members of Yigga Digga, of all people, Cyrus, his wife. I mean, there's maybe about 15 people in this room that should only hold like 3 or 4. And he starts singing Three Tires and a Spare. By the time this song is over, we're all singing along with him, like 3-part harmony, backgrounds, the entire thing. I turn, Cyrus saw the same thing. I turn, he's got tears in his eyes while he's singing this thing. And Jeff is the consummate professional. The consummate professional. That was just that was just, to me, out of all of it, on top is, if there's such a thing as improving on a perfect moment, that was it.
Oh, I agree. It was so just, you could just feel the culmination of everything from the entire night just in that one moment. And it was, I can't even describe it. It was amazing. It was. It was absolutely nuts. I'm glad that I got to be a part of it. I'm glad that you were a part of it. Like I said, your set was killer. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, you're very welcome. And yeah, it was. I'm excited for next year. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Ahead. All right. I'm sorry. I said, looking ahead, thinking ahead. I'm ready. Like, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get ready for next time. You and me right now. We're gonna make the commitment. We're there next year. Yeah, we're there next year. I'll drop whatever I have going on and be there. All right. I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. I'm with you. Megan Paulette, the Queen of Hugs. You know I'm with you, hon. Good luck to you. Good luck with the new single too, Sleep, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Best to you. We'll be talking to you in the chat rooms. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Absolutely. I'm going to continue to watch. Oh, well, we all are across to Bear Deer. So not a problem. All right. You take care. Thank you, dear. Talk to you soon. All right. All right. Bye. Megan Paulette, ladies and gentlemen, one of the people that was there with us during the Hugs Live Drive. Just an amazing night. A lot of great people were there. If you don't, you're not going to know the names, but you should. You need to tune into the Hug Show every Tuesday and Wednesday night, WRGG.org or Hugs at WRGG. If you want to donate to the show, because that's what the whole thing was about, really, to be honest with you. Hugs at WRGG.com. There's a PayPal link. It will benefit the... It'll benefit the station. It'll benefit the show, and what Megan said is very true as far as next year goes. Yeah, all I can say is you ain't seen nothing yet, and I'll just leave it at that. Donna came in. Hi, Donna. How are you? She says howdy. Hey, girl. Just an incredible show. Just an incredible show. I had the privilege of running back and forth between 2 studios. There were actually 2 studios that were set up to do the acts, and I was in Studio 2. And the people that I got to see, Smooth Ivory 2, an amazing band from North Carolina, James Morley, even Elizabeth is saying, Megan, you were so great. I mean, here you go, girl. You're getting the props, from the Midwest. All good. Ran away from work. Yeah, that'll teach you. Next thing you know, they got you on a milk carton. Go figure. But so yeah, it was an incredible show. Just an incredible show. Got to see James Morley up close, and I was in the room when Yigga Digga did their first ever all acoustic performance, and mind-blowing is the only thing I can say. Absolutely mind-blowing. And I got to meet them after the show too, which is another story altogether. Bill, if you're watching, I won't tell everybody everything. I'm just saying. So that's what's going on with that. And again, we've got a thank you to Megan for calling in. I certainly appreciate that. We've got Marcelo Obregon. He's going to be on. He's going to be coming in and joining us. As a matter of fact, right now, I was just mentioning your name. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcelo Obregon on the line. Hey, man, what you doing?
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me put you on speaker. Do that one more time.
Is this the immigration oficina?
It depends. You got your card, man?
No, I dropped it off at the airport.
And this is how we all met each other. I am not kidding. This is how we all met each other. I've talked to this guy on the phone a couple of times, and we picked him up in the airport in Harrisburg, and the first thing that comes out of Cyrus's mouth is, "Did you bring your green card?" And and the next thing I hear is, "No, man, left it in my suitcase." Yeah, it's like, come on, really, you guys? Can I just say, first off, one thing that a lot of people should know is that Marcelo is also the president and CEO of Mars Guitars out of Pasadena, California. And can I just say, good sir, you are probably the best damn guitar tech I have ever had.
Oh, well, that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much.
No, dude, seriously, okay? I mean, because one of the things that he did, he was. I don't know if you had been scheduled to perform or not, but they worked him to death the moment he arrived. Oh yeah, without question.
I was working it as soon as I walked in on anything and everything that came my way, even if it wasn't there. We worked on it.
We worked on it good. But no, I mean, you got there, and everybody's like, okay, he's a guitar tech. That's great. You grabbed Cyrus's guitar. You grabbed my guitar. I had no idea. I went into your room at one point, and you didn't bring any tools to speak of. But yet here you've got this little makeshift workbench made out of pillows on your desk in your room.
That's right. Grabbed a couple of tables, put some pillows, make sure that the patient is nice and comfortable before we proceed.
Okay, this may hurt a little bit. No, dude. You worked like a Clydesdale, man. It was unbelievable, and
yeah, it was fun. It was the energy. It was the energy of the Hugs house and the environment, the folks coming in, the vibe that was there. It kept us all going. I could have used a cup of coffee though, but other than that, everything was great.
No, the one thing that I did find, okay, during my entire trip, if I have one complaint, it is that no matter what rest stop I stopped at, no Starbucks.
Ah, you realize that too, huh?
Yes.
I was looking for the symbol. I was
Dude.
like, no, not here.
No, I mean, no, they were there.
Here.
They were there, but they were all closed because of the coronas. Everything's wrapped up in plastic. I'm going, you don't understand, people. I'm on the road, okay?
We need this now. We need an IV drip. Stat.
Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, listen. But I finally found one. I can't remember where it was. I think Cyrus took me to it. We finally found one outside of Gettysburg or something like that. But yeah,
okay.
That's what made the trip so rough, dude. That's my heroin.
I hear you. Even in the studio, there were these K-cups, I think they call them, for those instant 1 cup of coffee apparatuses. And I put it in the holder and pushed the button and nothing happened. It was just flashing at me.
Oh, God, no.
You can't have it. You can't have it. You can't have it. I was like, come on, man. So I grabbed the pouch. There was tea there, right? So I get a cup, put the tea in there, and pushed the thing to the hot water. Nothing. You can't have it. You can't have it. You can't have it.
No. Luckily I had grabbed a couple of Pepsis. And that's why I'm so glad there was next door Sheets. Heine Bach turned me on to that. Heine Bach turned me on to those because I knew it was next door, and I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not going to drive a block just to get a cup of coffee. And then he comes up to me the next day and just goes, "No, man, 2 hot dogs for $1. You can't beat that." Oh shit, we're there.
Yeah, it was good too.
I'm telling you.
For a gas station.
And we were all in this Sheets, this SHEETZ. It's an actual name. Sheets gas station, all eating hot dogs on the top of Cyrus's car. I mean, it was just like
that was a boardroom table.
Yeah, that was a high level meeting going on by then. Hey, talk to me a little bit, because I mean, you came in and I thought originally you were going to perform, but you're just like, nah, dude, just whatever you need. I'm just going to be part of this.
Yeah, that was my intention. If I needed to do something to fill in the void in between any dead air space, I would have gladly picked up the guitar and played something, but there was no dead air space. It was on fire. The moment we got there, as soon as we started to set up, the first musician that came out, I think it was Ron Nicodemus, met him outside when he was walking up. And from that point forward, it was just a lightning rod, nonstop, until the very end. You know what? It was like a well-oiled machine, and we had no machine and no oil.
We're lucky we had the gears. We walked in at one point and we're like, okay, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And by the time we got to that, we went, we're not going to do this. And we had to literally change things like in midstream. And we finally got into a groove. The thing started at 4 in Philly time. But to me, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. We didn't really get into a groove till like about 5:30. And then from there, it was just like clockwork. It was just insane.
I remember at a point I was starting to fade. I was really starting to
You?
So I looked up on the board on the list. I was like, well, we're almost done, right? Because I haven't seen the outside. I don't know if the sun was out, if it was gone, if the owls were going. I didn't know what was going on there.
I didn't know the coyotes were coming to the door. We didn't know what was happening.
Yeah. So I look and I think, oh, we're almost done, right? We were barely, a third of the way down. I was like, oh man. And then more folks started to come in. But then after a while, it just seemed like a giant powwow. Faces that we saw that you've never seen, but like maybe just on Facebook or like a image of someone or a side view or a caricature, nothing directly. But as soon as they were walking up, and I'd lean over the banister, and I was like, oh, that's Alan White.
Yeah.
Here comes Mr. Folk, and you recognize him, and I would always kind of, bust their chops a little bit, and then they look up at me and say, I'm Marcelo. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
They were just like long lost friends getting together after, years of not seeing each other, and it was the first time we were meeting.
And that was the point. Going back to what Megan had said earlier, it was just like we'd all talk to each other on social media. We all knew each other, from our websites and albums and everything like that. But really, when everybody got together, it was like, you had seen each other 20 minutes ago. It was to a lot of people, to a lot of outsiders, it would just seem really strange. But if you were in that situation, it was just like,
if someone had come walking in off the street and just kind of walked upstairs and saw this gathering, they'd ask, how long you guys been together? So no, we just met. They wouldn't believe it.
Elizabeth just put a note in the chat room, which is absolutely, I think, indicative of the entire trip. Glad the TV didn't end up in the pool.
I tried, man. I tried.
Now, see, I wasn't, bro. I was not going to call you out.
All I saw were trees.
I was not going to call you out. I swear to God. I was not going to call you out, but yeah, that first night, I tell you what, I've known you forever. No, really, Bill, I said, what happens in Chambersburg stays in Chambersburg, man. It's okay. It's cool.
If they're on and they're listening, we have that peanut butter whiskey. I don't know if that's going to happen next time. So no, next time, just bring the grape jelly whiskey. And we'll balance things out.
We'll make a picnic out of it.
That's it.
Oh man, yeah, it was an incredible night. It really. Give me a sense. Allergies. Allergies. It's not the coronas. It's allergies. I refuse to self-quarantine. Yeah. Work with me here, Mars. Okay.
Work with it. Yeah. Allergies. Yes, thank you. No, actually, I sneeze.
Yeah, exactly. And no, I did not. Megan said you didn't cough once the whole time you were there, and that's true. And that's how I know it's allergies. So yeah, after I got past the Ohio line, that was it, dude. It was back on, and I'm like, yeah.
It's true. I wasn't sneezing at all. I'm usually sneezing like crazy, but as soon as I get back here to Smoky, California, and it was on.
Well,
again,
you've got,
so my nose
I was going to
just
say,
opened
you've
up.
got a legitimate reason over there, man. You know,
Yeah.
3/4 of the
I
state's
made
on
up for
fire.
the 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made up for the 2 days that I was sneeze free.
I was gonna say you got to clean out your lungs for a couple of days. So, but
Sure did.
give me a sense of what what you were seeing, because I mean you got to see. I was locked up in Studio 2 most of the time.
Right.
And you were like playing runner, and you were playing tech, so it was like were you like everybody else? Were you? Because I won't lie to you, I was fanboying all over the place.
Yeah, it was one of those things to where there was half of an idea of how it was supposed to run, and it started in one direction and it went off into another, but it was the right direction.
Yeah.
And there were guitars coming in, guitars with cases, humongous cases. It looks like you can fit 2 bodies in this, And those were keyboards, and then Megan had brought her keyboards, and I was like, oh my God, wait a minute, we've got keyboards upstairs. Let me go see with Gina Pope if it's okay. And we're Ryan, can we see it? When is she going on? Are you coming back? Are you going to be here for another set? Yes, I am. Who else is going to play? And it was just going back and forth. We're all playing tag from one room to another.
Yeah.
Taking equipment out of one, grabbing it. Who's gone next? And there's people standing there going, where are my guitars? I'm like, oh no, they're in the other room. And it was like this. It was just on. The direction was, there was no direction, and it just
happened.
Way,
we just let it happen.
Madness, that madness is what allowed everything to happen.
That's true. That's true.
All
right.
It was great.
I got it from Megan, man. Let me get it from you. We're on for next year?
I don't know. If my green card expires, mijo, I don't know if I can make the trip.
Dude, you gotta make more money out in the fields. What you doing?
It's a long swim. I tell you that, it's a long swim to the Panama Canal. I did it once before, man. I get very, very tired.
Oh, Mars. Hey, listen.
Yes, I'm in for sure.
Cool.
You can't keep me back.
That makes sense to me.
Unless you go to pick me up in the airport and drive off, that's the only way I'm not going to be there.
Oh, we were sorely tempted. Trust me. We looked at it and said, "Oh God, who's that?"
Like,
Yeah,
that's him? Oh no!
get in the
Come
car.
on, come in the car. Come on,
just get in the
come
car.
on, Cyrus, let's go.
But instead, we just decided, to throw the bag over your head and throw you in the back seat. So it was all good.
I just showed up.
Yeah, exactly. He was here to sell us real estate, and the next thing you know, he's tied up in a hotel room. But no, man, I'm glad we got the opportunity. It was really great working with you. Thanks for working on the guitar.
We keep on. No, anytime. My pleasure. Fun. It's what we do.
It's what we do.
We just
Dig
make
it.
it happen.
Dig it.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate the help. Appreciate the good times. And just keep yourself out the bars, okay?
I will try.
Thank you. Thank you, I say.
All right, guys.
All right, dude. We'll talk at you.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
Later.
Right, take care.
Later. Oh, Marcelo Obregon, who was part of the Hugs Live Drive on Wednesday. He was the greatest runner. He just showed up. He just showed up. He went, man, whatever you guys need. And he played guitar tech, and he played roadie, and he played tech and setup. And a lot of what happened was very much part of him, to be sure. Just an amazing night. And thank you to everybody. Again, Zath, thank you, my man. You took the ball and ran with it. Made the Warp Radio Network a little home to Hugs, and we really appreciate it. Really do appreciate it more than you know. And hopefully this is a start of things to come, so to speak. So that's what happened on Wednesday. Now, one thing that Marcelo and I did not tell you that happened on the way to the show on Wednesday afternoon. Amidst all of this hysteria and chaos that is going on in my life, getting people to a little radio station in time to do global broadcast, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from my realtor. And my realtor says to me, Tim, you are cleared to close. In other words, this time it is for real. There is a closing date on the new GainerWorld International Complex. As of this time, I will only tell you this. This is the last call to get your guesses in for when we will be leaving this place for the very last time. Plopsy is in the back packing. We've got some stuff packed. We're going to be going sometime in the next days to sign the papers, and then we're going to start packing and getting out of here. What is the last day that we will be leaving this current abode? Send your guesses in, admin@timgainer.com. If, in fact, you are the closest person to that date, you will win a personally autographed copy, 150-gram vinyl copy of Honor Among Thieves, along with the envy of your friends and the pride of your neighbors. It is allergies. Yes, thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. That happened on the way to the studio. To which I was calling people on the way there going, yes, we are cleared to close. And I've got in a little side note. I had Marcelo sitting next to me at the moment going, what's he talking about? I sign a paper for a house? What? I do that all the time. It's called a lease. No, different thing, man. So we are in the home stretch. This is last call, y'all. Admin@timgainer.com. Find out. Get your guesses in. You may win an album. It's just that simple. So that is what is going on. The air quality of my apartment has absolutely nothing to do with this. Oh. Yeah, no. Yeah, it might be what's causing the allergies, is the air quality. But that is another story altogether. So yes, it has been an absolutely phenomenal week. I was really kind of hoping that we could get Cyrus Gray in on this evening. If I win, can I exchange it for an ABBA's Greatest Hits album? No, but Al Martino will be just fine. Yeah, it's been nuts. There's so many people to thank. Thank you to the Baymont Inn and Suites in Chambersburg. They went above and beyond the call. They were such great sports, and basically they let a bunch of stinking filthy musicians and Marcelo and Megan. No, Megan didn't stay there, but she was there for the after party. That's right. So yeah, it was a really good time, and they were very kind to us. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to the staff at WRGG. They were very tolerant. I will say just that. But Greg, their general manager, I'd met him. I finally got to meet him. A guy that's totally on our side, and is going to be very helpful with many things that I cannot talk about right now. But I will say this: if you liked what happened this week, you ain't seen nothing yet. And I'll just leave it at that. So thank you to them. Thank you, Baymont. Judy says congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate it. Although I should not get the congratulations. The two people who really deserve the congratulations are, without question, Jeff Trish, who Man, you want to talk about we had a system going where Cyrus set up the times for the bands. Jeff was the timekeeper. Marcella was the runner, and I was the guy in the next room. So we had this underground railroad going from a matter of about 30 feet away. And it worked. So Jeff, for your yeoman's work, man, yeoman's work, you pulled it off, and thank you so much for being the guy that you are. And above all, Cyrus Gray, you nimble-witted, thick-headed, stubborn son of a gun. You did it. You did it, pal. And I am so flippin' proud of you. You did something. How can I say this? History was made. Music was shared. And a family was formed. Not bad. Not bad at all. And for giving every unsigned artist, every independent artist, a platform, a voice. And Lord, what a platform. 27 countries? Are you kidding me? From an LPFM in southern Pennsylvania? Are you kidding me? When you approached me with this, after I got my music submitted, pardon me, after I got my music submitted, and after I watched this doggone thing go to number one, and after I'm getting all these plays, and suddenly I'm getting interviews, and suddenly, I mean, look at me. None of this would be possible without you, man. None of this. And the people that you brought together, and the music that you brought together, whew, I just sitting in that one room and fanboying like there's no tomorrow. And I know I only caught half of it. I can only imagine what your half was like because you were in the main studio the whole time. But it was phenomenal. Thank you, my friend. And yeah, I'll go to war with you tomorrow. It's just that simple. Is this the Church of Cyrus Gray and later day groupies? Darn near, man. Darn near, man. And Marcelo, we love you, man. I love you. I love you forever. Please don't ever ask me what that joke's about, because I will never tell you. But just know that anybody that was at that show, at that station, knows that joke and the other one. I will simply say, and anybody that was in the studio will understand this and will say it with me. Go Beavers. And I'll leave it at that. Elizabeth says Cyrus is probably sleeping. It's very possible, because I was talking to him until like 2 o'clock in the morning last night, and he was exhausted then. Normally on Fridays he puts out the new Hugs Top 100, and he just couldn't do it. He was exhausted, and I don't blame him. We were all up for like 3-4 days without sleep. So, and in fact, I'm going to try to pass out right after this. I'm probably going to be laying down next to Plopsy, and then get up tomorrow morning and start running around like a nut so I can return rental cars and get checks for closings and things. So I understand that completely. Marcelo says, yes, go Beaver. Oh, man. Judy wanted to ask you a question. When did I have time to do the commercials? To do the spots for the show? Those were actually done over the course of a couple of weeks. We had testimonials that were playing throughout the show. Up for 4 days, drugs involved? You'll never know, will you? But that was done over the course of several weeks. We had people that would call us and ask for, we just asked them, for testimonials. What do you think of Hugs? Tell us what you think. And if people told us we sucked, that's okay. If people told us we were great, that's okay too. So that's what's up with that. And Yeah. The problem with doing an introduction, I did have a full introduction listing the bands for the show itself. And there were a lot of people that had to cancel, which means you had to change the introduction because they weren't scheduled to show up. And those were being fixed and changed up until the 11th hour. In fact, I brought all of my recording equipment with me, knowing that that was going to happen. So it wasn't as bad. Zath is saying, this is interesting that Zath is saying this. Only one listener on Warp complained, and he was told to go lump it. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that was happening. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. That's the magic of live radio. And we're okay with that. We are okay with that. Do you know when the recording is going to be available? No. That is, we're going to be scrutinizing that quite a bit over the course of the next couple of weeks. And depending upon how things came out, I don't want to give away too much, but I will just simply say, stay tuned. Mama Bear was asking. I promised I'd check. Mama's going to have to wait like everyone else. I don't care what connection she's got. Mama Bear just has to wait in line like the rest of us. Also, what time out? Yeah, also what came out. Right. There's allergies. Just allergies. There's a lot of things that are going to be involved. Quality, timing, clearances, things of that nature. We will keep you abreast of the situation. I promise you that. I'm kind of interested in hearing them myself because I can honestly tell you, I did 2 sets that night. I did one at like 5:30 and another one at 11:30. The one at 5:30 was horrible. It absolutely stunk. And I will make that completely public. It was terrible. Marcelo had handed me the guitar. It was out of tune at one point. And this is no reflection on you, Marcelo. I get it. That kind of thing happens. It's all good. But it was out of tune. I couldn't tune it in time, which kind of threw me off. Plus, I'd been doing all the running around. Between that. So I'm physically and mentally exhausted by this point at 5:30. And I'm forgetting the words to the songs. I'm forgetting chordings. I look like a hack. But the second set, I was very happy to say I did a lot better with. And so I'm interested to hear how that came out. Killed it on the second set. Yeah, okay, thank you, man. What are you saying, man? I wasn't good on the first set? What are you saying? Just because I said I wasn't good on the first set doesn't mean you can say I was good for the set. What are you trying to tell me, man? No, I get it. It's all good. So, DJ Zath's producer, we put the tape reels on inside out. So we got to perform the whole show for the Pacific Coast. we had to replay the whole thing. So you killed it for the second. The spot for Marcelo's place was awesome. The spot for Marcella's place. Oh, the spot. Oh, for Mars Guitars. Thank you very much. No, Mars Guitars has been running for, Marcelo bought time, on the show for a while now. And, he asked me if I would do something and he wanted a Twilight Zone theme. So I just pulled out my Best Rod Serling and made an idiot of myself. And he paid me large sums of money for it. I love this country. So it was great. So yeah, he was doing that. Sheldon is, of course, with True North Pedals. That was another one that I did a long time ago. But it was all the production for the show itself that was really kind of tough. Doing my best on Lardo, pulling him out of mothballs is always a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing that on a lot more. We're going to be doing that on a lot more frequent scale. Just stay tuned for that. You'll be hearing a lot more Don Lardo, I promise. That'll be great. Marcel's the best. Okay, of course it is. You're just you're just biased. That's all, and that's okay. It did not. It did not what? I'm not sure where you're going, Jude. So I'm going to let that go. Only because my brain is clinically exhausted. Because after we got done with that show, I drove back 10 hours to Chicago. And even, quick story, I even missed the exit to get back to Chicago properly. Anybody who's ever driven in Chicago knows that when you drive down 80-90, you end up on what's called the Chicago Skyway. When you end up on the Chicago Skyway, you end up on the Dan Ryan Expressway. When you end up on the Dan Ryan Expressway to go southbound, which is what I had to do, there are two exits. One will take you to the left to continue down the Dan Ryan Expressway, and another which will put you back on the Chicago Skyway heading back towards Indiana. I'd just driven for 10.5 hours. And I said to myself, I say that to myself sometimes, I need to stay to the right in order to get on the Dan Ryan Expressway. An hour and a half later, I'm back on the Dan Ryan Expressway, having gone to Hammond, Indiana, again, and got myself home eventually. You pulled an Eric John Very. Yes, I did. Okay, I need to tell that story. You're right. And we've got a couple of minutes left. I will tell that story. Eric John Very was one of the people that played. He came in from downstate. I'm from Chicago. He is from a town in central Illinois of Belleville, Illinois, outside of Springfield. And he's coming in. He called us. I'm coming in. That's it. I'm coming in. Okay, cool. On the way there, now mind you, we were all in a hotel in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Let me repeat that statement because it's vaguely important that you understand the context of this story. We were in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And Eric called and he went, okay, I'm on my way. We're going to make it to Chambersburg. Yes, you are. He fell asleep. It was him, his wife, and his assistant in their car, driving. And he fell asleep and claims that he set the GPS to go to Chambersburg. Late Monday night, which is when everybody was supposed to be converging, we're all looking around going, where's Eric? Where's Eric? Eric made it to Chambersburg, West Virginia. Was a day late. But I don't hold it against you, Eric. Okay. Everybody, do you have time for a song? Everybody, one song, please. Okay, real quick. I'll do this one. It seems appropriate that I do this one. That I haven't done in a long... Well, I did this a few weeks ago, but it seems appropriate. Come and walk along with me. That seems not to begin. Come and walk this road with me. That seems to have no end. Come with me and love me, babe. We may have time again. Meantime, I'll keep sailing down this highway in the wind. There's times I feel like going. There's times I wanna stay. Times I do not feel too well, and times, well, I'm okay. Now you've got time to love me, babe. We may have time again. Meantime, I'll keep sailing down this highway in the wind. The fortune teller tells me I have some place to go. Looking, trying to understand, and wonder how he knows. So I must be going now. I'm losing time, my friend. Looking for a rainbow down this highway in the wind. So I must be going now. I'm losing time, my friend. Looking for a rainbow down this highway in the wind. Megan's waving the lighter, and that's okay with me. And we're overtime, so that's all right. I won't tell anybody. But yes, the guitar sounds great, Marcel. That's because of you. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Thank you to everybody who's been following us. Hey, do me a favor. If you haven't done it, like, subscribe, do that YouTube stuff, because I'm an egotistical person, and I want 100 subscribers. Is it wrong? Thank you so much to everybody. Call me after the show. It's okay. That's not a problem. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Call, subscribe, like, do all that thing. And hey, as always, if you like it, we need a 2-hour GainerWorld special. Are you trying to kill me, Paulette? What the heck are you thinking? Okay, you saw the way I was puffing and panting while I was doing that show. But that's okay. I raised 4 kids and lived through the 60s. I don't care. Have yourself a great week. We will be back next week. As always, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. And we'll see you next week. In the meantime, we'll just keep ending it the way we always end it. Like this.